Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I thought it'd be fun to talk about what's on my iPhone. I've been rocking the iPhone 14 Pro Max for a couple of months now. Absolutely love it. It's not a massive leap forward in technology. Every year we get some incremental increases in the tech and the improvements, but it's still a fantastic device. I fully recommend it. And I thought it'd be just interesting for me to run through how I use it, what apps I've got on here that I use every day, how I've got it set up, what case and other things and other accessories I recommend for using the iPhone 14 in particular. And yeah, we'll just talk about it. So let's record the screen and we'll talk about what I've got on my iPhone and what sort of apps I use in the first place. Okay, let's do this. So first of all, from the very start, we've got the stack. Now I've got a wide stack right at the top of the screen where I have certain things that I use a lot of the time in this stack. So we've got emails. We swipe it, we've got YouTube, obviously we do that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe because we're doing some more videos like this, I think. A bit more about myself, my workflow, what kind of things I like to do on a daily basis. Also how I go around creating content for this channel. Maybe a studio tour coming up this year when I finally get the garage totally converted. And we've got a desk setup video that's coming very soon. I'm working on that now. So, like I said, stay tuned, subscribe, press the bell. Give it a like, it really does help, all those YouTube things. Then we've got the weather. I love having the updated weather, and I find the weather, especially the rain notifications, very accurate with Apple. Then I've got notes. Notes is something I use all the time. I make a bunch of notes whenever I think of an idea, videos, YouTubes. I write scripts on my notes. I write replies to emails that I can just copy and paste and send back to customers and companies, and yeah, all sorts of things I do on notes. Then I've got battery. We've got AirPods usually there as well. We've got, I like to know what the battery is, especially with the Apple Watch Ultra. You seem to lose track of what your battery is because it lasts for about 3 days. You don't charge it every night. So I've sort of got out of the habit of taking it off every night when I go to bed to charge it. So it's good to have it there on the screen, so it just reminds you. It's down to 46% now, so maybe tomorrow I might have to charge it. So it's good to have that there. That's why I do that. Health, I like to keep a track of my move goals, my calories, my stand, all those kind of things, and we dive in there as well. It takes you straight to the app, of course. We've got some walks that we've done. It gives you other information within here as well about your sleep. For instance, we can go in there and check our sleep. That's something I've been doing, especially with the Apple Watch Ultra, wearing it to bed quite a lot as well. So we've got that as well. And then I've got the different time zones. If we go into here, I've generally got London and Brisbane set in there as my favourites. We've keep in touch with Danny Black all the time. If you don't know who Danny Black is, he's got a tech channel. He's from Brisbane. Originally a musician, but he's turning into one of the best tech YouTubers on YouTube at the moment. So go and check his channel out. I'll link it down below. But yeah, it's good to keep track. We do an Amazon live stream every Sunday. So every now and again, it's hard to work out the time difference in my head. So I've got that on there to keep track of what time it is, where Danny is. And that's it. Now going down, I've got maps. I use Google Maps simply because I find more reliable traffic on there, and we've got Street View. For my full-time job, I am a truck driver, and that's what I do for a full-time basis at the moment until we go full-time YouTube. And when I'm going to places I don't know, I like to have a look on Street View to see what it's like when I get there. So that's why I use Google Maps. We've got a clock because I set a lot of alarms, a lot of timers. We've got Amazon because I buy like 95% of my stuff that I buy for everyday life, everyday YouTube is from Amazon. So is that a good thing? I'm not sure, but that's what I do. For a lot of these apps, I've got only 2 pages of apps because these are the ones I use a lot of the time. The rest are over here in the app library. I get everything stored away, and then if I want to search anything, I just swipe down and I go to search, and I generally know the app I want to use, so I'll go in there, search up the app I want to find, and that's what I do a lot of the time. I don't like to have a really cluttered home screen. 2 or 3 pages. A lot of folders utilised here as well, but then everything else is in the Apple library. It's over there, out of the way. We've got YouTube, YouTube Studio, YouTube Music, everything YouTube. I'm a premium member, so I utilise all those features. And yeah, you notice on this first page I've got no social media. I tend to have my social media just in the Apple library because I find spending too much time on social media, personally for me, is not a healthy thing to do. Plus, it wastes a lot of time. And because I like to pump a lot of content out on YouTube, I don't have the time to go on social media. I don't have the time to do that kind of stuff. I don't have the time to scroll aimlessly through TikTok, because I find that's what you do if it's on the home screen. If it's away in the app library, if you want to go onto Facebook or something, you can search it that way. That's what I do. If it's not on the home screen, I find I don't click it as much. I've got my finance, I've got Find My for the AirTag, I've got AirTags on keys, AirTags in rucksacks, and I use the Chipolo app as well, which is in the app library. But Find My is really good for finding your AirPods when you've lost them, or finding any of your Apple products if you can't find them. So I use Find My a lot. In here, I've got the photo and video mode. Now, there's a few things in here that I use sometimes, a few things in here that I use all the time. I use Sidus Link for my aperture lights. I don't use the GoPro Quick app very often. The Insta360 app is in there because I use Insta360 cameras. Really fully recommend the X3. I'm using this a lot for my content creation, and that's the app in there. It's really a fantastic app, and I use that all the time. WeLight for lights in the background every now and again. I change it through WeLight. And then if I'm using my phone for video calls, I use Camo. This is called Re-Incubate Camo Easy App, and that's the app that I use for using my phone via Zoom or Skype or something like that. Even Longer is another app that I use, which is for long exposure photography with your phone. Now, if you want to find out a little bit more about that, I'm going to be doing a video this year on that. Something I really want to get more into. But Even Longer is a paid app, but it's really good for using your phone for photography, for long exposure photographs, and that's something I'm going to be doing a video on in the future. So stay tuned for that one coming up soon. Notes, like I mentioned, WhatsApp is something I use a lot. I don't tend to send a lot of messages via the messages in the bottom. So WhatsApp is primarily, I'd say, my most used messaging app, along with Messenger. Messenger and WhatsApp are the two messaging apps I use all the time. We've got camera there. I do tend to use a control center quite a lot as well, though. So we've got camera, we've got torch that I use a lot, we've got the TV remote I use, QR codes, calculator and alarms all in there, and I tend to use the control center quite a lot. Lastly, on the main screen, apart from the basic email, phone, text and Safari at the bottom, which you use all the time, is Elderchrome. Elderchrome is a really high-end slider that I did manage to purchase last year. It's a great purchase. I don't use it as much as I should, but it's an electric slider. You can put your camera on and you get some really cool, amazing shots. Very expensive stuff. That's not a flex, it's just something I saved up for a long time to buy. And yeah, so that's in there. That's what I use that there a lot of the time. So it's on the main screen to get YouTube macro shots primarily for products. So that's what I use. Okay, next screen along, I've got Google here because I've had Samsung phones in the past. I've got other things like Gmail. I've got Wear OS because of doing video reviews for watches. Google Photos that I try and keep and upload. Did have Dropbox upload into Google Photos for a long time automatically, so we've got that there. All the Google stuff is there if I need it. Entertainment wise, if I do anything on my phone, I don't go on social media. I go on entertainment. I watch video. I watch Amazon Prime, Apple TV. We've got BBC iPlayer. We've got YouTube Music there, Audible, the odd book that I listen to as well. BT Sport for when the weekend comes around and the football's on the television. That's my entertainment, of course. Netflix, eBay, then video calls, then health. We've got a few in here. I've been very lax on health over the last couple of years, primarily because of this YouTube channel. It's not an excuse, it's just I prioritise my time for this rather than looking after myself. So maybe I've got to do that more. But I've got a bunch of health apps that I use and recommend. The one I do recommend is one called Work Outdoors, and it's a new app I'm going to be exploring soon in a future video, because there's these screens that you can customise specifically for different things for the Apple Watch Ultra. And yeah, it's got a bunch of endless amounts of customization, so we're going to touch on that one in a future video. Meta Quest, we've got the Oculus Quest 2, which we have a lot of fun with, and that through this app you can purchase games, you can purchase other things, and keep track on news on VR stuff. So yeah, fully recommend that. I haven't done a video on the VR Oculus Quest soon. Maybe I should do one of those as well. Home is where all my home automation is. I've got the Ring doorbell, I've got Amazon Alexas all around the house. We've got Govee lights in the background in the studio, which I use all the time. They're amazing. Then Philips Hue, a lot of Philips Hue light bulbs, TV strip, for instance, and bulbs in all the lamps around the house. So this is where I control that. I tend to control it all through Alexa. So in the home screen, I go to search, and then we just type in Alexa. Even if you don't type it right, you get it right. Then we go to Alexa, control all the quick actions, all the studio, all the devices from the app there, and that's how we do that. Then we've got Freeform. Freeform's a new app that's just been introduced with a new update, iOS 16.2, whatever it was, and it's just like a note-taking app. It's sort of never-ending. It's an app that you have to go and check out. I mean, if you make notes, you like to do scribbles, Freeform is a great app. And files, I keep a lot of stuff, contracts, photos that I need all the time in my files app, so we use that on there. Watch is something I use all the time as well. Obviously, we've got the Apple Watch Ultra. Go in here to customise all my faces, customise the action button on the Apple Watch Ultra, and just keep track of all my settings on the watch. So the watch app is there. Bluetti is a video coming soon. It's a massive power bank charger with a solar panel. We're doing a video, so that's the app for that. If I edit any videos on my phone, I use the Adobe Rush, which is on here. And yeah, we use that app. It's a really great app, actually. The A app is on there for whenever I break down in the car. God forbid I never do. It's only happened once and I've used it, but it's a great app, and they tracks your location through the app as well, so that's why that's on there for an emergency. Amazon Live is something I've been doing. If you want to check out my storefront, I do a lot of lists, a lot of videos, some recommendation ideas for gifts and tech that I use every single day. I'll link my Amazon storefront down below if you want to check it out. But yeah, we do Amazon live streams every Sunday, me and Danny Black, and I will link them in the description. Go and check out the storefront. I'll link Danny's storefront down there as well, and you can check us out every Sunday morning, UK time, about 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning, and we talk about different products that we've gathered over the week and recommendations for tech, things that we use every day as well, not just tech. So that's quite interesting. As a family, we are really into planes. That's a weird thing, but a bit of a segue. We like tracking planes. We like going to the airport to watch planes take off. My son is obsessed with planes, so that's why, as a family, that's something we do. We've got the flight tracking radar 24 on there, which helps us track the planes and see which ones are taking off and their altitude and speed and stuff. It's quite interesting. Something we do as a family. It's really interesting, so that's what we do for that. Work outdoors we've mentioned, and then that's it. I've got some other apps over there that I use, but those are stuff that's not very interesting. But apart from that, that is what is on my iPhone. Now, as far as the case goes, I'm using at the moment, this is my go-to case. This is the Case Q Matte Power case. I'm really enjoying this case at the moment. It's just very protective. It's got the MagSafe on the back. The buttons are metal, so they are very clicky. Everything just feels very premium for a very cheap price. If you want to grab one of these, I'll link it in the description. But Case Q makes some amazing cases, and this is the one I'm just rocking at the moment. I do tend, because of video reviews, to change my case around quite a lot, but this is one I fully recommend at the moment. It's a really nice case. There's a big camera lip around the back to protect the camera, which is great because these things are delicate. I'm using a screen protector on the front from Case Q as well, which is a diamond shield. That's really good, stops it getting scratched and whatever. Apple Wallet, not all the time it's on there, but the one I use and the one I recommend is this quite very special one from a company called Mujo. This is very good quality leather, and I like this one because it's got these rubber grips on the back to stop it sliding around, unlike the Apple original version. Also, it's got the cutout in the bottom, so we can push the cards out from the bottom as well as the back. So this is the card holder and MagSafe Apple Wallet of choice. I'll link that in the description as well. It's really good quality, a little bit more expensive, I think, than the original Apple version, but it's very nice. But that's what's on my phone, that's what I wear on my phone, that's some other accessories I use with my phone. The iPhone 14 Pro Max, really enjoy using it on a daily basis. Battery life, phenomenal. I very, very rarely have to charge it up or top it up throughout the day. It generally lasts me the whole day. It's a phenomenal device. So yeah, that's what's on my iPhone. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a like, it really does help. Until next time, see you on the next one. Bye guys.